G'day, welcome back to Shaving Down Under. I'm Doug. Today we're going to have a shave, a vintage shave with a slight modern twist. And we are going to hark back to the 1913 with this little beauty here. And I'll open up for you all to see. And it is a single ring. What's commonly known as a traveller set, and this is a silver plated version, and inside old mate left his soap behind. So guess who's going to shave with old mate's soap? I am. So what I'll do is, for health and safety reasons, I will just get a butter knife out, just scrape off the top, and then see if I can slice a bit off and put it into my bowl and see if we can get a lather up out of it. And once we've done that, we're going back to Squadron soap. This is a splash, a scented splash that Andy never got to release. When he folded up shop late last year, he had this and another one which I obtained as well that he had for sale on his site, and luckily I got hold of a bottle each, so we'll splash with that at the end. So rightio, so what I'll do now is I'll scrape off old mate's soap and then we'll get into it. Put that back in the container, and I was able to squash it into my bowl, which surprised me quite a bit. I've probably got, it's not probably, I do have too much in there. So, but let's see what happens. Let's see what sort of lather we get. So, there's your soap. Don't worry about use by dates on soaps. What can I tell you? There is a scent. It's not pleasant, but it's not unpleasant, if that makes sense. It just smells old, maybe a touch mouldy, maybe a wet cardboard, but no fragrance, put it that way. But it's just a really good lather, amazingly good. So let's put it on. No idea how old the soap would be. But the razor has the C code and numbers, and from 1913. If we go by the Razor Emporium date code part in their education centre on their website. Now I'm telling you right now, this is excellent lather. I'm shaving late in the evening, so I don't have the best of light, and it's been overcast all day outside. But this is really good lather. Got this razor loaded up with the Aristocrat blade, so that's about 4 or 5 shaves in. Beautiful condition, this razor. No splits that I noticed. Still in lovely condition. For all you vintage collectors out there, underneath there is no made in or Gillette advertising, or imprint, I should say, branding. So that gives you an idea from the period. So 111-year-old razor. I'm getting a nice shave straight away. It's Tuesday today, I last shaved on Saturday. Hope you've all had a good weekend. As you can see in the background, Brighton had a good win, even if the team was on the bottom of the table. Sorry, the team, Sheffield United, they're already relegated. But 5-0, and that's what you expect to do against a team like that. But as if you follow the Premier League, if you're not fully switched on as a top team and the bottom team is fully switched on, you can lose. So I think that bumped us up to 6th or 7th. Probably 7th. The thing I like about these old Gillette razors is the head is that thin, that you get right under your nose. The good thing about these old single rings as well, and the Bulldog of the same period, and the Bell Tube, is if you need a quick one pass shave, if you're running late for work, they're real good at it. Against the grain. So I think this weekend we've got Everton. I think on our last outing with Everton, they rolled us. So hopefully we can do a bit of payback. Great razor to shave with. This is a set that I could probably really clean up nicely if I wanted to remove all the patina, which I probably should do. I believe this is the 00 set. And it was pretty much the base set for this type of razor. Yeah. So to show you, when I said I used too much soap, you saw how much lather was in the bowl and on my face. That's how much soap's left over. So I reckon I might just leave that there and shave it again later in the week. Why not? So I'll get the cheat sheet here. So this razor and case came in 4 different varieties. So the base one, so I believe this is a USD, United States dollar, $6.50, and this pricing was from 1911. And then I saw some pricing and advertising from 1915. Prices were still the same. Imagine that, you wouldn't get that now. 4-year difference, there'd be a price increase. So $6.50 was for the base one, and this is the one I'm shaving with, the set I just showed you. Then it went up to $9, and that was with a set that came with a mirror and I believe blades. If you wanted a gold-plated set, that would set you back 12 American dollars back, 111 years ago. Oh, hang on, this 1911, yeah, even longer, 113 years ago. And if you wanted, and it was called Moroccan, and I don't know if that was to describe the covering of the case or not, but it was Moroccan, and that was for, Moroccan, and this one came with gold initials and engraving on it, and that set you back $50. And back then, $50 was a lot of money. So if you had one of them, you were doing all right in life for $50. You had money to spend. And I remember some years later I've seen advertisements where that sort of stuff jumped up to 75 USD. And I checked this out a couple of years ago, and at the time, if you compared that to today's money, something like 1,200, over 1,200 United States dollars, 1,250 United States dollars today. So in Australian, that's probably about 3,200. So even today, if you're buying a razor equivalent today that was in Australia that was at least $3,000, well, you're not a blue collar worker banging that out. You might be a tradie, but you're doing all right. Well, that was a cracker of a shave. And what I can say about Old Mate soap, whatever brand this was, I'm just not even going to guess really. Could have been anything. As I said, it's not a pleasant smell. It's not unpleasant, but it's not a scent you want to be smelling all the time. If you walked into your house and it smelled like that, you'd be opening up all the windows, etc. Just such a beautiful razor. I'm going to have to clean it up a bit when I take the blade out, put it back in the set. What I can say is the lather was amazing. The lather was excellent. And as you can see, I've still got heaps left. There's another shave in there at least. The only downside to the lather was afterwards there wasn't a lot of slickness, but it's in no way an orphan because I'm not going to mention names at all. If you weren't go back over some of my older videos, you'd work out some of them, but there are a lot of good soaps on the market that we all buy that slickness wise, and what I mean by slickness is you quickly rinse off, and does it still feel slippery, soapy, or does it feel watery? So slickness to me is when you quickly rinse off, you touch around to see where you need to touch up, and if it still feels slippery, well, that's slickness. If it feels watery, well, it's not so slick. This is what this soap had, but you're going to forgive it because it's 111 years old. But there are, and that's maybe just how it was back in the day anyway, but there's a lot of big name soaps out there that are the same. There's not much slickness once you just quickly rinse off and you just want to feel around to touch up. So, man, that's a soap I'd use again, and I will use again. I've got a few of these old sticks now, so I'll be pulling them out from time to time and trying them. Rightio, we got the splash, just gave it a bit of a shake. I've used this once before, and I'm going to use it again tonight. It's got a real old school scent to it. This and the other one that Andy sold off when he sold up his business or closed his business are the same, real old school scent. I think for me, and look, I'm not a perfumer. But for me, this is a bit powdery in its scent and smells like orange. And not like that tangy citrus, but it has an orange scent to it. And it's pleasant and I like it. Now, it dries off quick. But this is nice. Wow. And there's a bit of, right at the end of it, that I don't want to say tobacco, but cigarette type smell to it. But yeah, it's definitely powdery, a lot of orange, and at the back there's, as I said, so a burnt sort of cigarette smell. But it's pleasant. It's only light. It's pleasant. That's a beautiful aftershave. I would have loved to have had a soap that was with this, but unfortunately, Hardison shave soaps, it's a tough business. It's not a business that you can make a living off in Australia, and unfortunately, Andy couldn't keep it going and match this up with a soap. It would have just been brilliant. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I thought it was quite interesting using that soap. I hope you found that interesting as well. I love the single ring razors. They're a nice razor. This one was quite mild to others I have used, but got a nice close shave. All right, I'll get going. We're only part the way through the week, and so let's just head down, bum up, and try and switch off and go into robot mode. And I think I've got Saturday off this week. Anyway, people, take care. Thanks for hanging around, and I'll catch you in my next video. Ciao for now.